Get up here in the Zo Loft and get your head right.
All right, what's up, Head Right homies? Welcome to the Zo Loft, your Head Right hangout. I know I'm late. I'm like a day late. Normally we try to do this. Well, I'm saying like that. We've been doing that for a long time. No, just as of late, we've been doing the Zo Loft, kind of like it's an after party to the after party from the Zopium Den. And so yeah, Tuesday is like a night chock full of Zo. We got the Zopium Den and the Zo Loft, but yeah, some thunderstorms rolled in. And here in my workshop, the insulation doesn't keep up with the pouring rain and the thunder. So when it strikes, man, it's like boom loud. And rain, of course, all you would hear is basically just white noise anyway. Yeah. So, but you know, hopefully, you know, with the support will pick up, and we'll be able to afford to insulate this place properly and all that sort of stuff. And you know, but we're trying, folks. We're trying. Yeah. We're in exile, so we don't get to enjoy growing our audience. You know, you might have noticed that my audience still hasn't grown. Some of y'all been listening for years. You notice that the number stays the same. It doesn't grow. It's done that way. Not much I can do about it. Hopefully, the Lord has better plans.
Yes.
I got an idea of what I would really like for that plan to be, but you know. So at any rate, hopefully here on Hump Day, I hope the Hump Day has launched you guys into an even better part of your week. And we thank you for spending a little bit of your time here in the Zo Loft. So, what are we going to try to get to today? We got, being all unprofessional and stuff, not having my pages open, ready to read what we're supposed to be talking about today. So let's start with, we'll get to, it was market pressure, not Donald Trump or the FCC, that forced Jimmy Kimmel off the air. Okay? Well, he didn't get the first thing right that, you know, got the plug pulled on him. He's not going to be right about this
right,
either.
Yeah.
So as far as I think I've already seen it, where he's coming in and making his statement about it, you know, basically saying that Donald Trump can't take a joke or whichever. Actually, yeah, you're Jimmy Kimmel himself is kind of a joke that's, hard to take. It's like, I'm telling you. But at any rate, we'll go more in depth on that in a little bit. Then we got Bill Gates announced the end of the era of smartphones. Call it like dumbing down phones. They will be replaced by electronic tattoos. What is it about?
I remember when he announces something, it'll happen a few months down the road, because he announced that there would be some sort of plague that would just happen across the world, and then we got COVID-19. So
yeah, this is kind of something that's already pretty much
figured out.
It's ready to roll.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah, in the article we read, it's already 15-year-old technology, these tech tattoos, so
yeah.
God knows what they have ready for us.
So then we got Ryan Routh stabs himself in the neck. I shouldn't laugh about that.
No.
Stabs himself in the neck with a pen after jury finds him guilty of attempted assassination. I have questions. Pregnant liberal women now taking Tylenol to stick it to Trump. Okay. Man, you know.
And RFK.
And RFK. Is it wrong for me to be like, hey, you know how that dude tried to stab himself with a pencil? You know, this would be one of those, might like be one of those ideas for y'all to take one of those TikTok challenges. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Obviously, and because, you know, for the baby's well-being, which I have more concern with than you do.
Yes.
Anyway, President Trump signs over dramatically raising the fee for H-1B visas to $100,000
per year.
Letitia James indictment. Here's the prosecution memorandum for federal and state charges. Take a look at that. And that's going to be long and boring, and I'm going to try to, you know,
It won't be long.
Gonna try to get to the nitty gritty of it. I'm already sick of this woman anyway. I really don't want
I know, right?
Yeah. Stop selling fentanyl. Trump orders lethal kinetic strike on drug boat. Yeah. Yeah, I guess a kinetic strike as opposed to a static strike, I guess. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was flying. That boat was going fast.
It's going. And we can out. It was going like they could outrun a missile. That thing was just. It was like it was just. It was just going. Like, I don't know. We'll talk about it. It's just the observation of it. North Korea bans Western words, including hamburger and ice cream.
Wait till you see what they came up with.
Yeah. Well, are y'all gonna ban words like barbecue?
Huh?
Oh. Because I don't think I've ever tried Korean barbecue. I hear it's the bomb, but I've just never.
Had it. They had it at an event, one of the many events we went to in Torrance, like in SoCal, and I had it, and it was so good. I remember saying something to you like, I can't believe I've been missing this all these years because I had never tried it.
Was it beef or pork or?
It was either chicken or pork.
Mm. I mean, did they serve it up proper? Did it come in like potato salad?
It did. It was.
Really?
Yeah.
Koreans know how to get down like that? Did it have some Kool-Aid?
It wasn't quite a tea, I don't remember that, a tea party, but it was kind of one of those political type events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was just an odd thing that was there, and I was like, well, I might as well try it. Because it's Korean barbecue, and I've never had it.
Yeah, and to go along with this with some Korean Kool-Aid. I wonder how that would be. Don't do nothing weird to it. Korean Kool-Aid is like
what would Korean Kool-Aid be?
Maybe some, like kimchi flavor. Better not come out with some kimchi flavor Kool-Aid.
No.
Cabbage flavor Kool-Aid.
No.
I don't know. They might make it taste real good.
I was gonna say maybe they can make kimchi is always savory and spicy, but maybe they can make it flavorful.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Sweet.
Yeah, probably like some sweet cabbage, like they do with green tea ice cream.
I'll bet you could do that.
That's Japanese. Sorry. I don't mean to get my knees mixed up, right? You Chinese, Japanese, Koreanese. I love y'all.
You're the only person I've ever known who can actually tell the difference between all of them.
Who's that? What?
You.
Oh,
You're the only person I've ever known who can tell the difference between all of the Oriental, is that what you call them, Oriental nations?
It must be the Oriental gene in me.
I think it is.
Yeah. I'm part flip. I didn't know that. I'm part flip, yeah. So it means that you don't want to mess with me when I got a knife. Anyway, sorry. Or a stick. Yeah. It's just in the genes. That artness and that screaming just comes out. All right, so what was I? Oh yeah, we was talking about barbecue and Kool-Aid, Korean style.
I was wondering, how many words Kim Jong-un or whatever his name is has banned.
Man, it don't look like he's trying to ban eating them.
No.
You look like you eat your fair share of hamburgers and ice cream.
Looks like he takes the food away from people and eats it. I hope he doesn't hear that somehow.
I'm Kim Jong unfooding you. Mine. So, anyway, let's. Yeah. Man, I'm kind of curious. Like, what would be a Korean Kool-Aid? I know they got other foods that they can.
I am not familiar with their culture, sadly. And my best friend when we moved to California was Korean, and I'm just not familiar with. I'm familiar with Chinese, Japanese, Thai, the restaurants we've eaten at. But
well, I'm Korean cultured. I got my first black belt in Taekwondo.
Aww.
That's right. Both Korean style Taekwondo and Japanese occupation style Taekwondo.
Wow.
Yes, there's a difference. Mm-hmm. The internet now. So that's my Korean cred. That's my Korean cred. And then I got my Japanese, or not my Japanese cred. I got my Okinawan cred for getting my black belt in Shorin-ryu karate. So that's my Okinawan cred, right? And then I got my, and then I guess that ties into no. I got my Japanese cred because I just said I did Japanese occupation Taekwondo also.
Yes.
So I got my Okinawan cred, I got my Japanese cred, and I got my Korean cred. right? And then I studied Chinese boxing. So I got my Southern Chinese cred and my Northern Chinese cred.
Wow.
Right? And then I studied also Kali, Eskrima, Arnis.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
I've known you for 25 years and I'm learning stuff about you right now.
That's because you got to keep your martial arts ninja style like it's secret. Right? So I got my Filipino cred. Right? Of course I got Filipino blood cred too.
That's
Right? But, you know, I got my Filipino cred. I got a little bit of Thai cred. Right? Did some Thai boxing also. So, you know, anybody trying to, you know, say that I ain't down with the yellow? You gotta be down with the brown. I'm a fellow with the yellow.
There you go.
There you go. I'm a fellow with the yellow. So anyway, now, then we got cannabis usage may quadruple chance of diabetes. Diabetes.
Has there ever been a more obvious
Yeah. Yeah, you think?
test study?
Wow. All right. So there you have it, folks. That's what we'll be trying to get to today. And hopefully we'll bring something illuminating and maybe even, I don't know, some levity. I don't know.
Always.
So let's see. Dang it, I lost my page again. I'm slacking, man. So let's start here. We're going to jump to not the B. We'll read a little bit of this article. Let's see. Where's the art? I don't want the editorial, man. I just want the article. And then the page is going to like load all fast.
I
Slow
know.
and stupid and stuff. Okay, we heard all the fake news story. Trump and the FCC had pressured ABC to dump Jimmy Kimmel because of an idiotic thing he said. Man, if that's the case, he could have been dumped for a lot of stuff a long time ago. He's always saying idiotic stuff. And no, I don't really watch the show. How do you know he says idiotic stuff? I know that he says enough idiotic stuff to stop watching the show. I'm pretty sure it's pretty commonplace for him. He was an idiot before he started doing his show. I remember him from, what was that? They had the Man Show. And then, what else was it? Well, I don't know, because I don't really follow his career.
Crank
Was it
Yankers? With the puppets?
Oh, yeah, he did the Crank Yankers stuff.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Which was a really funny show, but it really showed his bigotry as well.
Yeah, it did.
His characters did anyway.
Yeah. Jimmy Kimmel is Jimmy Kimmel's another one of those cowards. And pretty much all these Hollywood comedians, they're cowards. They say stuff and then they cower behind being a comedian. Mm-hmm. You know, we're just a comedian. You want people to take you seriously. You want to get out there with your social commentary and stuff like that. And then when people call you out on the stupid stuff that you say, it's like, I'm just a comedian, and you can't take a joke. You're freaking cowards.
Yeah.
Right? Own it.
Which the Bible specifically calls out that behavior.
Yeah, totally. So now we all heard the fake news story. Anyway, so what does Kimmel do? He tries to make it like, you know, a MAGA person. Like, y'all, and you lefties, you do this all the time.
Yeah.
Every time that there is this political violence.
They did it today with the shooting here in Texas, in McKinney. It was McKinney, which is one of the cities we thought about moving to. Mm. Their ICE facility there. All the news agencies that are liberal were trying to say it was a MAGA guy shooting up the ICE facility. It's like, are you insane? Yeah.
You guys imagine, and it's imagined, ain't it? What do I keep telling folks? This is where they operate. This is how they are. This is what they're wired for, imagination. And you got a whole bunch of these mainstream Republicans for years thinking that they can reason with these people. You're not going to get them there. Okay, you're casting pearls before pigs. It's specifically what the Lord says to not do. Mm-hmm. Casting pearls before pigs. And so, you know, trying to reason with these people is you know, it's pretty dumb. So, Kimmel trying to make like, you know, it's another right-wing gun nut or whichever, and it's always some left-wing. And I'm not trying to, forgive me, y'all, because I'm not trying to make this about race, quote-unquote race. But who's always doing the politically motivated? It's always white liberals, ain't it? It's always some white left winger, pretty much all the time. But you got a whole, but see, the whole MAGA movement, the mainstream Republicans, they do this to themselves because they're acting like a whole bunch of racists themselves. They really are.
Yep.
They want to. They're trying to redeem themselves to make them look like we're not evil white people. Look at what those black people are doing. Right? Like I said, they've become a whole bunch of birth of a nation people. The nation needs to be saved from the evil. They put these videos up all the time of black people doing this and black people doing that. And now, and the theme of it is the usual suspects. Right? So because I'm black, I'm a usual suspect. I mean, I'm just prone to doing violence.
Apparently, yeah.
You know, but I guess we just overlooked that the ones who are constantly doing like mass shootings and politically motivated violence or these social commentary and violences, socially conscious or social warrior acts of violence are usually white liberals who seem to like to dress up as as the opposite sex and then commit violence. But we're the usual suspects for violence, right? And then I get it. Well, by proportion, the small group of black people, they're doing the most violence. No, actually, the ones who are doing the most killing and the most violence would be white liberals. Far more than what black people are doing. Prove me wrong. You know? I dare anybody to try to go ahead and give me the numbers about how blacks are killing more people than white liberals are. I'll wait. Or just in case anybody wants to come up with the numbers, and I'll prove you wrong. So,
I'm sure Matt Walsh is like out there somewhere going, ooh, I'll take that.
Yeah, well, Walsh should know better now. Because he tried that with me. He hasn't responded since.
No, he hasn't.
You know, because I gave the numbers on that. So, anyway, but Walsh is trying to make nice to people now, though.
Yes,
that's cool.
yes, I heard.
That's cool. Hey, you know, Godspeed. So, let's see. But you guys get the gist of it.
But what do you mean? You were talking earlier about how these white Republicans, the Republicans who are always pointing the finger at black people and them causing all the violence in our culture.
Well,
you're talking about the Planned Parenthood, all the abortion clinics.
I was wanting somebody to come in and give me some contradicting numbers first.
Oh.
So, but anyway, but as it is, yes. So for those who think that you know, for blacks committing the most violence, you know, if we're the usual suspects for what the violence that's going on in America, no. Why? Because I guess what blacks are thuggish. You know, it only really counts as violence if you got some black people listening to some rap music and they got their pants around their ankles or whichever and all that sort of stuff. But as far as Planned Parenthood goes, Planned Parenthood is killing more people than black people by far. You know, they're going to say. So if you're not sure with that, then I guess you're not as pro-life as you would think that you are. Okay, so Planned Parenthood is killing far more blacks. And now one would say, well, hey, you know, doesn't it take black people to go into Planned Parenthood to do it? Yeah, black people who are brainwashed by white liberals.
Yeah.
Okay, and for those who think that you know, well, black people just shouldn't be so brainwashed, I would say that about a lot of white Republicans. White Republicans are most of them, many of them, I shouldn't say most of them, but many of them, too many of them, are just as brainwashed by the Democrat Party as anybody else. I'll prove it. You got a whole bunch of out there waving the Democrats' flag. You know that Confederate battle flag? You know that was the Democrats' flag, right? But they're out there waving it. Out there saying we need to leave up those Confederate monuments. It's history. It's American history. It's Democrat history. They got you suckers out there stumping for them. Brainwashed. Fully brainwashed. All right, so before you think that there's other races out there that are so brainwashed by the Democrat Party, y'all are the worst offenders. Okay, and this is why the Democrats are able to do so much damage. They get the most help they get from you. Right? So You have Democrats brainwashing blacks. Heck, I remember when we lived in the hood in San Bernardino, California. They sent their agents out to talk to people about. Planned Parenthood would send representatives through the neighborhood. They came and talked to my mom. Okay, convincing her. Oh, it's just a clump of cells. It's nothing but just a spot of blood. That's it. No, don't associate humanity with the child. You know, so they came talking to my mom too. I've seen it firsthand. All right. So yes, you have Planned Parenthood established by white liberals, the white Democrat Party, that party of white supremacy, that party of systemic racism, right? That party of white privilege. Them, while Republicans are saying that none of that stuff exists. Well, I guess Democrats never did anything, huh? Why are we mad at them? I guess there was no reason for the Republican Party to be founded. So when you have that institution that is a genocidal institution, and it's also white liberals, white Democrats. While I guess we're the usual suspects for all this violence, isn't it white liberal Democrats that made sure that our borders have been so weak? Letting that traffic come in, getting fentanyl in here, making inroads for trafficking human beings, the cartels. That's not black folks running that. That's white liberal Democrats running that. All right. So if you're talking about these things that are costing the lives of people, this menace to society, oh, it's easy to just go ahead and point your finger. And I like how I guess these mainstream Republicans, they're so brave. And we're going to call out these black folks. You can do that, but you can't do squat. Y'all ain't really jumping to do anything about it. I noticed that Hillary Clinton's still out there. Fauci's still out there. Biden's still running free. Right? Oh, but you're going to handle those Negroes, though. We're gonna call them out, and we're gonna take them to task, and we're gonna do something about this. But when it comes to the white Democrat menace that is really messing up this country, impotent. So, but at any rate, all that to say, Jimmy Kimmel wants to try to make out where it's some right-wing gun nut. He got that wrong. And then from there, he's going to come on and say that Trump can't take a joke. And dude, it wasn't even Trump that really got you pulled. All right? You had channels that were like, yeah, we're not going to carry your show anymore. Now, I don't know what happened. Maybe the producers, we're okay with taking the loss. It's like, fine. We won't.
Yeah, there's some affiliates. I think it's Nexstar, and you guys, you've probably been paying attention. The other big one, Sinclair Broadcast Group, they said that we're not done not airing him. We're not going to air him. We want rhetoric in this country to calm down, and what he said was wrong, and we're not airing his show. And they've been getting bomb threats at a lot of their locations. And a guy came to one of the stations in Sacramento, California with a gun, threatening. Jimmy Kimmel's own staff threatened him last night. If he didn't show up or if he did apologize, they were gonna walk off. Like, it's a mess.
Now, see, and you can see why Jimmy makes up stuff like this. Y'all, they have to make, man, can you dig? Look, I follow the Lord because he's the truth. But, you know, the thing is, you see a lot of these people and it's like, you know what? You're a big part of why I follow the Lord. And I don't want to be nothing like you. These people are freaking evil, man. They want to try to make like we're the ones who are threatening people and, you know, we're just going to go off and we're going to shooting people and bombing people because they disagree with us and whatnot. Y'all, that's not us. That's y'all. Y'all be threatening people with violence. You're still the spirit of the KKK. Democrats, you know, founded them, by the way. You know, but you don't get your way, and violence is your solution. You start threatening. You start carrying out acts of violence. That's y'all, man. You know, and you have to try to imagine and try to put the narrative out there that it's us. You're projecting. You project that stuff onto us. It ain't even us. It ain't even close. But this is what we're up against, y'all.
Yep.
This is what we're up against, and I've been trying to tell, Republicans for years. You can't. You're thinking that you can reason with them. Your approach on this is wrong. And when I say you can't reason with them, doesn't mean that, I guess that means that we're just going to have a firefight with them. No, just because you can't reason with them doesn't mean that we have to have a fight with them. The approach is just wrong. I keep telling, I've said it 1,000 times. These people are geared towards their imaginations. That's their motivation. That's what motivates them. They imagine these things. And they get out there and they're given over to their imaginations, and their imaginations make them do violent things. So until, this mainstream Republican Party understands that, things are just going to get worse. But, they think that politics is going to save the day, and their amazing reasoning. The word of God tells you there's a way that seems right to a man, but his way leads to death. Yep. Y'all are trying to do it your way through your own understanding, and things are just getting worse. When are you going to freaking learn? I would gather that you're not. So, anyway. And what else we got here? Bill Gates announced the end of the era of smartphones. They will be replaced by electronic tattoos. What is it about? This is coming from what's that? Dev UA? I don't know what that is. So you don't even know what your news source is, and you be reading that stuff like it's credible.
Well, that's a kind of a unique news source. So.
She does the evaluating for me. I trust her judgment.
Thank
That's right.
you.
Okay, so billionaire and Microsoft founder Bill Gates has predicted the smartphone. It's predicted. He's probably already doing it. Predicted. Like he's like some sort of Nostradamus or something like that. Predicted the smartphone era will soon end, saying it will be replaced by electronic tattoos, an innovative technology already being actively developed by startups like Chaotic Moon. Chaotic Moon, what? Did you guys name that after your moon goddess? Anyway.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
But I guess their moon god should be tranquil.
That's true.
What would be chaotic about the moon? Anyways, which was acquired by Accenture. Gates believes that the benefits of such solutions, eliminating passwords, bank cards, physical keys, and even smartphones, will outweigh the risk. Hey, what do you guys think? It sounds pretty, man. I'm sick of looking for my keys all the time. Sick of it, man. Sick of looking for my keys all the time. Keys attached to my wallet, going back and forth, because I tell you, man, every time it's like I put them right here. I know if I put them right here, I won't forget it, not forget. or whichever it is, I don't know. I'm always, and do y'all have that too, where it's just like they were always right in front of you the whole time or something like that? So, let's see, eliminating passwords. Yeah, I'm tired of that too.
Me too.
Bank cards. Tired of people hacking into our bank cards.
Yes, I'm tired of that too.
Tired of that too, right? So, going on, according to Microsoft founder, these smart tattoos, I ain't sick of it enough to take the mark of the beast, though, or anything like it. I'm not saying that this is the mark of the beast, but, when you look at these things, like, dude, you might want to start reading the scriptures, and you don't want to be here for the real thing. Just, don't pander this stuff.
Yeah.
According to the Microsoft founder, these smart tattoos will soon become the way to communicate and access digital devices. Electronic tattoos are thin, temporary skin applications with smart paint and nanocapacitors that allow you to exchange information, send messages, open doors, or use the internet with gestures or touch. They are virtually invisible, have no screen, do not require large batteries, and integrate directly with the human body. So I'm, man. You know, the liberals are really going to go nuts for this when they make these things suppository. Yeah, they're really going to be in line for
They're
that.
just waiting for that.
Yeah, that's what we're real. They're going to be like lined up like the Apple store. All they got to do is just walk in, pull the pants down, bend over. Sock it to me. I'm online. All right. Let's see. Is it, can you imagine that? It's like where your farts would sound like dial-up?
The dial-up? No.
I don't know. Let's see. In addition to digital functions, these tattoos can monitor vital signs such as heart rate, body temperature, or other health parameters. This combines the capabilities of a fitness tracker and a means of communication, creating a completely new format of interaction with technology without gadgets in your hands. At the same time, the spread of such technology raised a number of ethical questions. Electronic tattoos collect a large amount of personal data, from geolocation to medical indicators. So yeah, man, it's like that. Those things that you can, you know how we got these, Earth police out there. They'll be monitoring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, you gonna have to pay a carbon credit if you fart or something like that. They're gonna have access to you. You fart. You have let out so many what are they called? CCs of methane to contribute to the depletion of our ozone. It's like you're gonna have to pay a penance for that in this global religion of environmentalism that we have. So electronic collective margin. Okay, cybersecurity issues are no less acute. Theoretically, attackers can gain access to biometric. That's what I'm saying.
That's scary, yeah.
See, now, okay, the article's there if y'all want to check it out. Now, when people have this technology, what's the interface experience? I mean, is it going to be one of those things where it's like it jacks into your like visual cortex or something like that, and you can see where you are online? Is that how it's going, or is it just? I mean, if it's just like some nano paint that you put on it,
Yeah.
how is that going to be more engaging than looking at visuals on a screen?
That's what I'm wondering. I
And
don't
that-
see how.
Yeah, and that you can interact, How is, okay, so what information are you able to exchange? Is there still some sort of monitor that you're gonna have to be dependent on
Right? Yeah.
to examine what it is that you're doing? I
am not understanding why Bill Gates thinks that these tech tattoos are going to replace the smartphone. Because at lunchtime, I can tell you that every single human being is staring at their screen. They're not going to stare at a tech tattoo that they can't look at something and
Yeah.
be entertained by it. You can listen to something with these tech tattoos, but looking at I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. But Bill Gates has predicted it. I personally would have no interest in this.
Me either.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of convenience, I don't know. Even if you take this down a rabbit hole and how much we're talking about integrating this into a person's physiology.
Yeah.
Y'all, we're already talking about like hackers. When you got people hacking in people's phone, hacking into their computers, you want people hacking into your body. We're talking about techno demons, y'all. Now remember, y'all, the devil himself was the first black hat. The devil himself was the first hacker. All right, he got Adam and Eve to open up one of them emails, all right, and got past their firewall, so to speak, and has basically implanted a doom virus in all of us.
Yeah.
All right, the devil's the first black hat. So with this kind of technology, and y'all, I'm not saying that that this is the supernatural or anything like that. In terms of like when we're talking about technology, Yeah, dude, we could be talking about technological possession. We're opening up. You talk about opening yourselves up to demons. Right now, these demons in the natural would be your hackers. And you want to be able to have this kind of interface, to be able to make it to where these people can hack into your person? I don't think that's a good idea. And once again, y'all, I mean, demonic possession as it is a real thing. And what makes it so successful is making it to where it doesn't look like it's a real thing. But as we're seeing these things kind of take place, it's one of those things where you might want to check the scriptures on this, man.
Yes.
You know, start reading, because you don't want to be here for the real thing when it starts to become very blatant. It's becoming kind of blatant now. To those who examine the words, you can see the demonic activity. Some people feel like they wouldn't believe it unless it looks like something that came out of The Exorcist or something like that. They have to see witchcraft according to like what it looks like in Harry Potter or something like that. That's not how this stuff is going to look. Okay, it's way more subtle and it's subtle, insidious, and inconspicuous than that. But at the same time, it's right there in front of your face. All right, the first description given to the devil is that he's subtle.
Yeah.
But the word of God says also that he goes back and forth like a lion, seeking who he can devour, right? Roaring. And part of that roar is part of the subtlety, because it's like, it's so obvious. It grows to a point. The subtleties has gotten into everything so deeply that now it can roar back and forth and not be seen as something strange. Right? You know what I'm talking about? You see, when you see these things that are going on in our culture, and you're like, what the crap are you doing? But these people are doing it like it's normal. It's just no big deal. Yeah. You know, the devil is just going back and forth devouring these people. But they're just like, what? What's the problem? What's your problem? Why can't you just be open-minded and all that sort of stuff? You're just full of hate. You're a hater. You know, and these people think that we're the ones going out and committing the violence. You see what I'm saying? So you have these subtleties that people can operate in, you know, but at the same time, it's just so right there in your face, you know. Let's see, what else we got here?
While you're looking for that, Tom Jensen said, he's saying probably some Neuralink thing. Yeah. I was thinking that too, that's like the final outcome of what's in Bill Gates's mind about why these tech tattoos would replace our cell phones. Mm-hmm. It'd have to be a Neuralink type thing, because like I said, people love looking at their screens and being entertained. Yeah. So it would have to be something like that. And Neuralink has come a long way. Right. So, but he also said, you have been fined 1 carbon credit for violation of the global flatulence statute. Yeah. That's it. I could see them coming up with that.
And the thing is, y'all, when I was with PJTV, I was talking about this stuff back then.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, you know, you have these implants or a tattoo or something like that that's going to be reading you. I was talking about this years ago. I sound like I was talking about before Bill Gates was. Yeah. You know, so yeah. Anyway, so now you got people staring at their phones. I don't know, man. If they get it to where people, instead of staring out on their phone, are staring out into space,
right? You
know, just having their user experience. I don't know. Like I said, is it a technology that can tap into your user? You know, it'd be like a, you know, tap into your visual cortex or whichever.
Yeah.
Man, but people, like I said, people don't know. You're opening your way for demonic activity when this stuff comes around.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Maybe you guys know differently in the chat, but so far Neuralink, the most I've read that it's accomplished is it's paraplegic looking at a screen and playing video games solely through his mind. Playing the game solely through his mind, which is mind-blowing, no pun intended. That's mind-blowing to me. And the guy did it for 8 hours, played video game using his mind. But that's as far as I know, that's as far as Neuralink has gotten.
See, this will be a technologically. Could it be where people are going to be into? This could be a technologically enabling telepathy.
Oh.
Where you'll be able to communicate with people remotely. I mean, we communicate with people remotely, like by phone and stuff like that, but actually, to where you wouldn't have to like make any other communicative gestures. You don't have to type nothing. You don't have to say nothing. You can just go ahead and communicate your thoughts. Is it going to be something like that? Or is that where we're going right there? So people get out there to trying to be like little Jedis and stuff like that. Right. But the appeal of the possibilities, well, people are going to start to pursue that. Of course, people are going to want to do those sorts of things. But like I said, the witchcraft, y'all, it's not obvious. This kind of, Harry Potter stuff or whichever, or demon possession like in The Exorcist and whatnot. It's more subtle than that. But like I said, it'll become very, very blatant to where when it's right there in your face, people they're not gonna recognize it.
Yeah.
It's for real. It's like I said, you see people doing like crazy stuff right now, and it's like normal to them, or you have a problem because you're calling it out.
Right.
So it's so obvious that it's like it won't be anything weird to them. You're the one who's weird because you're calling it out. Let's see. Ryan Routh stabs himself in the neck with a pin after jury finds him guilty of it. Okay. Well, I mean, what did you expect was going to happen? I mean, you take a shot at a president. Did he plead not guilty or something like, or did he say not guilty?
Seems like he did plead guilty, and he represented himself. Let me refresh myself in the article.
Yeah, I guess maybe I should try reading it. Let's read some of it here. Oh, wow. I totally thought that he would have been a black person because, usual suspects were the ones who were always doing the violence and whatnot.
Are you shocked?
Yeah. Well, Ryan Routh doesn't sound very urban. Maybe if it was like Tyrone or something like that. Tyrone Routh, maybe, but no, it's Ryan Routh. Let's see. But no. The Florida jury in the case only deliberated for 2 hours. After they returned the verdict, Routh stabbed himself in the neck with a pin. Was it a pencil or a pen?
I know, right?
These are very important details. Presumably in an attempted suicide. Ow, man,
Yeesh.
Come on, man. With a pencil? Now, I mean, because if it was a pen, man, that's kind of dull.
Was it yesterday on the audio news, they were saying pencil.
Okay.
But I think this article is saying pen.
Man,
Either way.
You
ouch.
wanted to suffer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only that, man. Well, no, they don't make pencils with lead anymore. It's graphite.
Oh,
graphite.
Yeah, because kids used to eat the lead.
So after he stabbed himself in the neck with a pencil, presumably an attempted suicide. Okay.
Yeah, Fox News is reporting a pen, so if we can trust them, it's pen.
All right, so, dude, you did they say what his sentence would be? Did they say that he's going to get the death penalty? He's guilty.
I know, right?
Or did they just we find you guilty? And he didn't even wait for the sentencing. I'm just gonna. I guess. Hey, I want to do. He's a big do-it-yourselfer. I'm going to represent myself,
right.
And I will go ahead and subject myself to capital punishment if I'm found guilty. I mean, because man, you could have waited, I guess, till you went back to your cell and I don't know.
Life in prison.
Life in
That's
prison.
what he's getting, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Man. So, stabbed himself in the neck. What's up with these neck? There's like a neck theme going on.
Obsessed liberals, yeah.
Yeah. What's up with the? Let's see. Routh, a construction worker with a passion for Ukraine and a burning hatred for Trump, set up along a long fence line with a rifle while Trump was golfing in West Palm Beach on Sunday, September 15, 2024. After failing, Routh left behind a letter that read, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. I tried my best and gave it all the gumption I could muster. It is up to you now to finish the job, and I will offer $150,000 to whomever can complete the job." Man, so Routh, he was a construction worker. It sounded like he wasn't even the contractor, not even the general contractor. He was just construction. Where you get $150,000
right?
from? I worked in construction a little bit. I ain't make nowhere near that kind of money. Man, it's like that's more of like the developer money, ain't it?
Yeah.
So Routh fired his lawyers and represented himself in the Fort Pierce courtroom, rambling oddities as he did. 10 minutes into his opening statement, for example, Judge Eileen Cannon had to stop him because he was ranting about ancient history, Hitler, Putin, and Israel.
My goodness.
During jury selection, that's what I'm saying, man. These people just so full of hate, man. They're stupid with hate. They think it's us, man. But, imagination. During jury selection, he asked potential juries their position on anti-Israel protests and what they would do if they saw turtles crossing the road. I have helped a turtle cross the road.
Yeah, you did.
I wonder if I would be acceptable.
You might be.
Right? It was very awkward, because I didn't want the turtle to pee on me or bite me. They can stretch that out. Sometimes you don't know what kind of turtle you're dealing with.
It scared me when you picked it up because I did not know that these little river turtles had such long necks.
Yeah, they can neck out, and reach around and, but I think I didn't want it to pee on me. So,
Which he did try.
He did, right? So
that was the thanks you got.
I know, right? No good deed goes unpunished, I guess. And, but yeah, what do you think, Routh? Is my answer acceptable? I carefully, stopped the car, put my hazard lights on so nobody would come around and slam into this turtle.
Yeah.
Try to operate as fast as I could. So maybe I would have fit. So Routh now faces potential life in prison at his sentencing. So, at any rate, the stab, man. I wonder, what angle did he take?
Does he know anything about human anatomy? Does he know where the arteries are?
I would venture to say that you don't really have to be physiologically savvy to know that if you hit one of these bad boys here, you're gonna be it ain't gonna work out too good in terms of living. The pain. Oh my goodness. Shank. Oh my goodness.
That's what I've just always, I shudder to think.
So, if he lives, just sound like what he did was kind of give himself a tracheotomy.
Yeah.
You can hit, you hit the windpipe. It's.
And he's gonna be on that hardcore permanent watch now, right? Because they can't leave him alone in his cell because he's gonna try to off himself.
Yeah.
What is that called?
Suicide watch?
Yeah, he'll be on suicide watch where he's massively surveilled and he doesn't get certain luxuries in his room because they're afraid he'll try to kill himself.
Stop costing us money, man. And so, I don't. If he didn't succeed with that, I don't think he was really I don't know if he was really serious. I don't know if he was just trying to cause a scene. If you, like I said, you don't really have to know. You don't have to be like an expert to know that, you know, where that pencil goes can really be the determining factor of whether you stick that sucker like up in here or something like that. I don't think it's going to go too good. I don't know if that's where he hit. You know, it's a pretty specific area. You know, you go, below that or to the side of it or anything like that, you can miss it, you can roll it, you know, or whichever. But yeah, that's. Yeah.
Vanessa Montijo has a very good theory. Maybe he did all that because he was hoping for a mentally unstable trial.
Thank
Could
you.
be.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. What else we got here? Yeah. Pregnant, liberal women. That sounds kind of well, considering the context, to say that they're liberal is kind of redundant, you know. And I guess if you're going to point out that they're liberal women, you have to be very careful because you really should just say birthing persons.
True.
But yeah, I mean, and so really the headline is pregnant liberal women now taking Tylenol to stick it to Trump and RFK. Has anybody seen or heard of any of these TikTok videos or whatever they're coming from of men taking Tylenol to harm babies or to give them autism or something like that? Is any you see any men just sticking their bellies out, you know, and giving themselves a Tylenol suppository or anything like that? Anybody? I get probably not. So let's go ahead and read the article. No, man,
Is that the theme of the evening? Suppositories and
Suppository.
liberals?
Because it's liberals, that's why. Dang it. Okay, there we go. Let's open that up. Shut those down. What's one of them? What was that last one? The one who kind of looks like, I don't know what she looks like. She kind of looks like Ralph Malph from Happy Days.
Wow, she does.
That's just one of the things that comes to mind. There's a few people I could think of that she kind of looks like, but Ralph Malph is like one.
That's pretty spot on, yeah.
What did she say? Do you remember what she said?
Oh, she would never take advice from someone who doesn't have a medical degree and who had a parasite in his brain.
Okay.
She said it like that too. I'm not like I
yeah,
am mocking
that
her,
is what
but
she
she
sounded
did
like.
sound like that.
She did sound like that. Yes, she did. That's
She
pretty
said
good.
she'll only take advice from her medical doctor.
Okay, well, the people who did the research on this are medical academics.
Yes.
This wasn't concluded by Trump.
They didn't do the study themselves.
Or RFK and Trump didn't. They're not the ones who did the studies on it. They're the ones who saw the credibility
Yes.
from what was it? Academics from
Yale,
from Yale,
Harvard.
Okay.
What is that? Basically, multiple prestigious, not just ranked medical schools, which they're all pretty good in America. Multiple prestigious medical schools
There.
in America.
So, girlfriend, who's saying that I would only take, well, that's where this comes from. And you're sitting there popping Tylenol like freaking Pez. And,
Pez.
but hey, and the one who's going to suffer for it is your baby and you.
Yes.
That's not going to hurt Trump and RFK. Now, if the study is concluding that Tylenol does this, so far it looks like Tylenol is in the running for being associated.
Yes.
Not the cause.
The correlation is there.
Yeah.
That's why all of these medical schools made the announcement. They're like, there's definitely a correlation here.
Okay. So something to consider. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, and these you still have some of these people out there talking about like Trump is not credible because Trump said to inject yourself with bleach to kill coronavirus. They left out a lot of context there. When Trump was talking about the injection of a disinfectant. Okay? The disinfectant that he was talking about wasn't bleach or freaking Pine Sol or anything like that. The disinfectant that he was talking about in terms of injection was there's a needle that emits ultraviolet light. That was the disinfectant he was talking about. Okay, you put it in, it straps on or it anchors, and as blood passes by, or carrying the virus, it's exposed to ultraviolet light. That's the disinfectant he was talking about. But these people are the smart people.
Yes.
They're the smart ones. He's so dumb, he's talking about injecting bleach. They didn't even know that this technology existed where you could put in an ultraviolet needle. But yeah, there you go.
That's pretty amazing technology, actually.
Right? So, but they're saying that we're not going to take advice concerning Tylenol because of Orange Man. And y'all, I'm not even the biggest fan of Trump. But dang, man, it's like you just sit there and lie on the dude. Just lying on him, right? And then from here, your hatred does this kind of stuff, where you would compromise the safety of your baby, just frivolously taking Tylenol.
Yeah.
You don't even
disgusting.
need to take it, right? If you're out there dancing and stuff like that, I'm gonna take some Tylenol. You're just taking Tylenol to take Tylenol. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're in pain, you're in pain. I get it, and you may not have a prescription, or there might not be something else that really works, and you're taking Tylenol. And if you want to make a funny video of you taking Tylenol just to spite Trump, okay, whichever. If you're in pain and Tylenol works for you,
Yeah.
okay, then it is what it is, and you just happen to do that while you're making fun of Donald Trump. Okay, it's really petulant. It's a petulant thing to do. But like I said, if you are experiencing pain and the Tylenol helps, then what can I say? But the spite, and I'll give people a benefit of the doubt as far as that goes. But you know what? A lot of these people, they may not be experiencing some pain at the moment.
Oh, it didn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I'm trying to, we're communicating here. Trying to have an open-minded dialogue with you. But it seems like this is more motivated by, you have more hatred for Trump than you have love for your baby.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
These are pro-abortion people.
Yeah, that's true.
So you would risk enhancing the possibility of your child being autistic just to spite Trump and RFK. And you're doing this at the risk of your baby's health. Wow. Y'all got problems.
Yeah. It's not even just the correlation of the kids maybe getting autism. It's that I looked up, like, well, okay, what is this? It's when you take acetaminophen and you're growing a baby. This happens in non-pregnant women as well, human beings. It depletes your liver of glutathione. And glutathione, I give it to you every day. It's a foundational amino acid that you need to remove, like, toxic byproducts from your body. Like, it's a free radical scavenger. It's something that keeps us very healthy. And when you're growing a baby, you want to have a lot of it, and you don't want to tax your liver. So put the risk of autism aside. Don't tax your liver of glutathione so your baby can have everything it needs to grow and be complete.
And which, by the way, that's why I know what Glutathuti is, because she gives to me, not because I know with the logical conclusion is that I'm just brilliant and I would know what it is. Like, no, she.
Incidentally, the Biden administration banned, it's called NAC, N-acetylcysteine. Glutathione, I think, is the precursor to that. The Biden administration banned it for 2 years. I don't know if you remember that, but I was buying it all up at Sprouts because they banned it because it is so essential to people's health, and it was helping people fight COVID.
I kind of miss Sprouts.
I
We don't have
do
a
too.
Sprouts here. Yeah, is it?
We were talking with Cranky about that last night. She has a Sprouts.
Sorry to derail back to the but hey, Remember, we was talking about demonic possession, right? Mm-hmm. That's what this stuff looks like.
Yeah.
When you know, demons, they really love child sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
They love that stuff. People have been driven by demons for a long time. But like I said, as the saying goes, I should say, you know, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people they didn't exist. Demons, they're doing their activity. You got these women showing that they're far along in their pregnancy, and popping Tylenol, risking the well-being of their baby. They're probably the same ones who will be like, you shouldn't smoke. You're pregnant. Right. You know, they're probably the same kind of. But hey, you know, giving your kid possibly, you know, exposing them to dynamics that could give them autism. Oh, that's okay though, because we're doing it to hurt Trump's feelings. That's demonic.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So this is gonna keep on going on, y'all. I'm telling you, it's gonna get worse.
Caleb P., who has joined us tonight, he says, when my wife was in labor prematurely with our first child, the nurse brought in a flu vaccine, which we are against, and asked if she wanted it. Before she could answer, they jabbed her. We know somebody else who that happened to. Before she could turn down the COVID vax, she got jabbed, and then she had major vaccine injuries, still has major vaccine injuries from being jabbed. And she didn't, she told them, don't give that to me, specifically told them not to. See, these liberals, they just do this for our own good, I guess.
Jab right back. Rear cross, roundhouse. Anyway, let's see, what else we got here? We got Trump signs order drastically raising the fee for H-1B visas to $100,000. Let's see what's going on with this one. All right, so H-1B visas were designed to bring over the best and the brightest high-skilled immigrants. Well, that's dumb because, you know, people who are, you know, immigrants and, you know, unless they're white, you know, according to a lot of these mainstream Republicans that we have nowadays, they're living in grass huts. You know, they don't even know they even have the wheel. Yeah, but they don't even have the wheel. And you know, whereas, you know, the white right, hey, if it wasn't for them, you know, electricity wouldn't have been invented. I don't think you can invent electricity, but
right, you know, yeah.
Storing it, transmitting it, you know, that's another thing. But, you know, electricity, you know, that's a distinction of the white race, especially if you're a right winger.
Yes.
So these immigrants, you know, being across the pond, you know, who are not of the white persuasion, I don't know how they could be highly skilled enough to be, you know, brought over. How are you finding these people? It's just not possible. Anyway, grass huts, no wheels. So H-1B visas were designated to bring over the best and brightest, highly skilled immigrants from other countries to help American industry grow. However, in recent years, some right-wingers complained at the abuse of the visa system. And it seems President Trump has heard the complaints about of this base. And don't get me wrong, y'all, because I'm like, hey, American jobs. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we have? But hey, the country's run by liberal Democrats. You know, places where people are going to school and higher learning and, you know, learning trades and stuff like that. Yeah, we got Democrats all over the place. So, you know, you want to be able to find, you know, workers that you can count on. And, you know, a lot of these people, they got issues. So anyway, here's a description of the order. One of the most abused visa systems in our current immigration system has been the H-1B non-immigrant visa program. This is supposed to allow highly skilled laborers who work in fields that Americans don't work in to come into the United States of America. What kind of fields are we talking about here?
Tech, mostly. Tech, biomedical.
So it's work in fields that are, because it sounds like, okay, when Americans don't work in these fields, but you talk about like out in the, like the, because I thought those were the jobs that Americans don't do. Americans don't do them field jobs.
Right.
Is it supposedly?
Supposedly, but actually here in Texas,
Yeah.
they've found that, Americans will do the jobs
Heck
once
yeah.
you deport the people who have taken the jobs.
Listen, y'all know we used to live in California. And in California, yeah, sure. It's like most of the people that you will see doing like landscaping and stuff like that is going to be, Mexican or even El Salvadorian. People, coming from south of the border.
Yeah.
It ain't the case got here to Texas.
No.
It's like if you see a weed whacker, chances are there's a white person carrying it.
Yeah.
All right, landscape you see there's white people out there landscaping, supposedly doing them jobs
Yeah.
that white people don't do. Right? Because that's what they mean by that. These are jobs that Americans won't do. It's like they mean like white people don't do. It's like no, just it depends on what the demographic of that area is. What
Yeah.
people I guess are willing to spend, and on general principle. Mm-hmm. So, but this right here. So when they're talking about these jobs that Americans won't do or don't do, I don't get that because
I don't either.
why do we have so many people wanting to go to college? Well, I mean, unless they're wanting to get like a degree in lesbian studies or something like that. Or, they get these kooky degrees that you can't really make any money with. But no, for real, you got people out there that are wanting to go to college. They're wanting to get these skills to have these more prestigious jobs that the market is demanding, like in terms of tech and in these industries. So why do you have all these people going to college if these are jobs that they're not going to do?
Well, that's a good question. I've heard that argument to why we need this program in the first place, because there are not enough Americans who are going to school to specialize in these fields. Therefore, we have to import people who specialized in these fields. I don't know if it's true or not, but that is an argument that I've heard for a long time.
So with all this demand to go to college, what the crap are these people going to college for? What are they learning? What do they want to do?
Sociology and psychology, so they can get government jobs.
Okay, because a lot of people, it's one of the things. And when I was teaching at the college for a minute, I was teaching self-defense at the college, and you just hear the buzz all the time. Oh, I got they come in, they start talking about their their itinerary with their studies, and psychology comes up all the time, and it's like would be nauseating. It's like, another person is like, I'm taking psychology,
Yes.
And I get it, for some things that you're going to major in, I understand that that's a prerequisite.
Yeah.
You're going to need you're going to need your psychology class. I got that, but just the way it is.
Not any of the science fields, though. Are you going to need a psychology 101 class? I'm just going to say that.
So it's just like I said, nauseating. But at any rate, so what industries are they going in? You got all these people wanting to go to college.
Good question.
How is it that you have all these people going to college, but yet we need to outsource for these jobs that I guess Americans won't do? And I guess these are prestigious jobs.
Yeah.
Pay well.
Yeah, if you can afford to pay the person $100,000 a year on top of the $100,000 a year, or $350,000, and then on top of that, the $100,000 that Trump wants you to pay, they are good paying jobs. They are prestigious jobs.
Yeah.
Apparently, we don't have enough Americans who are, I don't know, going to school for these sectors.
Okay. So now with them offering that kind of money, I guess this is supposed to discourage and get people to look more. I mean, would that be the way to approach this? I'm just thinking out loud here. You want them, okay, what this proclamation will do is to raise the fee that companies pay to sponsor H-1B applicants to $100,000. This will ensure that the people... A year. This is every year.
Yeah.
Now, it ain't a one-time fee. This will ensure that the people we're bringing in are actually very highly skilled and that they're not replaceable by American workers. So, or protect America. That seems to contradict itself. Am I reading that right, y'all? This will ensure that the people we're bringing in are actually very highly skilled, and that they're not replaced by American workers. So it will protect American workers, but ensure that companies have a pathway to truly hire or to hire truly extraordinary people and bring them to the United States. What am I missing there? It seems to like work against itself. But what I was gonna say is
meaning that there's no American worker that can replace this person. Nobody's competent enough in America amongst our workers. It looks like that's what he's saying.
This will ensure that, okay, this will, I guess you don't have to worry about them being incompetent or not, because I guess this $100,000 will ensure that people we're bringing in are very highly skilled and they're not replaceable by American workers. It seems like they would want to, but it says this will protect American workers. But you've just inched a worker out of a job by wanting to by spending $100,000 to hire somebody else from another country.
I think Trump is thinking, I can't say for sure, but I think he's thinking that if a company is going to have to pay $100,000 a year for this person on top of their salary, they're going to think twice before trying to import somebody. They're going to like scour America to find somebody who
That's what I'm thinking.
Job.
That's what I'm
or
thinking,
who's qualified.
But it just doesn't seem to word that way
Yeah,
in here.
it's worded a little weird.
But I'm going to try to ignore what's worded in here, and I just want to ask, if you got $100,000 to pay every year as a fee, if you want the best and the brightest in America, you can just take that money and pay it once and be like, this your hiring bonus.
Right.
Like $100,000 for the American, you know, is $100,000 like not enough money to attract people?
It doesn't go very far nowadays.
This is true. But I mean, but the thing is, if you're an immigrant from another country, and once again, y'all, this ain't about being anti-immigrant or anything like that. America is a beautiful place because of immigration, if you do it right. Okay? But what I'm saying is, if the immigrant comes over here, heck, they're gonna find that $100,000 ain't gonna get them that far here either. You know, you want to be over here, you want to be in America and live the American dream. Yeah, $100,000 don't last that long anymore. All right, unless you taking that money and you sending it, you know, to your fam.
I was gonna say, coming from California, surrounded by Oriental immigrants, Middle Eastern immigrants, and Hispanic immigrants, we saw that they are very willing to come over here and live below the standards that Americans want to live at. They'll drive around a 1995 Honda Civic to save money, whereas an American person will, you know, pay $500 a month to look like they're rich so they can drive this car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's that.
Americans they're not willing to lower their standards and suffer for a little while.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Immigrants, they are.
yeah, we seen that. And but so all that to say, heck, man, if you got $100,000 a year to do that, well, start, you know, put it up on Craigslist. Be like, hey, $100,000, your hiring bonus.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. And that's just for that one time. Not every year. Not every year on top of what you would be paying them.
Right.
You know, so just something to consider.
And you know, it's not always that a lot of these tech bros, they didn't go to college, some prestigious college. They're just smart and they just taught themselves, you know, the industry. So you don't have to scour colleges to find somebody necessarily. You can be a little bit more open-minded. Like the cloud seeding kid, he didn't finish college and he's extremely smart and intelligent. And I think if we don't have any people to hire right now for these jobs that we're importing people to place them, we need to maybe not scour the colleges and maybe scour all of America for brilliant minds.
Indeed. Yeah, let these and let the college kids get out there and intern and
Yeah,
get
they
some
should.
experience and stuff like that and whichever and at some point they'll be the ones developing some experience and
Yeah.
then you can come after them later or whichever. I'm gonna do one more article, y'all. I'm just gonna kind of bring it up just to bring it up because we got started kind of late and it's getting kind of late. But and I just want to point out the obvious with this cannabis usage may quadruple chance of diabetes. Of course it will, because munchies. All right, you get the munchies, man. You're gonna eat junk food. You're gonna eat. You're gonna want them ho-hos.
Right.
You're gonna want to eat a lot of carbs, and then you're gonna want to sit and you're gonna watch TV and play video games and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that is a ticket for diabetes.
Yeah.
So I get it. The cannabis has been sold on people as the healthy. We're gonna cure cancer with cannabis. And look, I'm not ruling it out. But what I do know is this: that was never their motivation.
Oh, absolutely.
That was never their motivation. Okay. If cannabis, let's say cannabis does have an effect on, let's say, reversing cancer, stoners would not care if it didn't get them high.
Yeah.
All right. They kept talking about we need to make medical marijuana legal, legalize it for medicinal reasons.
For cancer patients.
Right? It's like, dude, you don't care about the cancer patients. You don't. All right? You do not want this legal for medicinal reasons. You don't. All right? And I was saying that before they legalized it.
Yep.
And then, lo and behold, I said, okay, they're going to get their way. And then what's next? It needs to be legal for recreational purposes. Like, yeah, just like clockwork. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You never cared about it for medicinal purposes. So, in terms of like, CBD for inflammation, hemp itself, when it without the nutrition in it, anti-inflammatory potentials. Y'all, I'm with it.
Yeah, the non-psychoactive part.
Yeah. But in terms of, people really just wanting an avenue, a lot of people just, using the medicinal aspect of it to give it credibility so they can make the recreational aspect of it available. That's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
All right. But at any rate, cannabis, smoking weed and whatnot, with the munchies.
Yeah, it was a good study that was done too. It was almost 100,000 people between 8 years. That is a good study. And they found that smoking weed quadrupled these people's chances of getting diabetes. They're 4 times more likely than the control group.
I'm pretty sure that was an easy study for them to go out there and recruit for.
Right?
Hey there, fella. Would you like to smoke some weed for a study? Why, yes, I would. Right? So, and there you go. All right, y'all. Sorry I didn't get to all the articles. Maybe we'll save them if there's...
We have to save the Korean banning of the American words article.
Yeah, it was a toss-up between the cannabis, giving you the diabetes or Kim Jong-un. That looks hilarious, but it's been a long day. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for a dose from the Zo Loft. We really appreciate that you guys, include us as one of your hangouts. BronzeSerpentMedia.com. Become a member if you haven't yet, and populate our powwows. Thank you guys for dropping that buck in the bucket to keep your bro Zo on the go where you can. And y'all have a groovy rest of your evening and week. Bye.